Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. I'm excited because we have Jordan Goodman. He is America's Money Answers Man. Going to be chatting with him today, and I think we're going to talk about credit cards. So if you happen to know somebody who maybe has a bad credit card or they need some help getting out of a bad credit card, going to ask him some advice. He's literally written the book on this topic, Heidi.
Okay.
So, smart dude.
He's a good man. I like him.
He is. I love talking to him. We usually chat with him about once a month. And when I was emailing him, I said, what are we going to talk about? He goes, you want to talk about credit cards? Oh, you're the America's Money Answers Man. Yes, we do. So we'll do that. Got a quote here from Mae Jemison. Mae says, never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination. Never limit others because of your own limited imagination. So,
true.
There you go. Just don't limit people because of imaginations, I think is what she's saying. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is, what is today? Oh, it's Wednesday, the 18th day of July. It is National Sour Candy Day. Do you like sour candy?
I do.
I like the Sour Patch Kids. Mm-hmm. I love those. I don't know
do too.
why. I'm trying to think of what else I like that is sour. Remember for a while they had like kind of a jawbreaker thing that was really sour? That was too sour for me.
I like those chewy
Atomic
sweet tarts,
Fireball
those
or
great
something.
big ones.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
I like those.
I like those too. It's also National Caviar Day. I've only had caviar one time.
I've had it once, and I did not like it.
We are not fancy people. We went to a really fancy restaurant twice, two different fancy restaurants, both very high up in the air. One was in Des Moines on like the 52nd floor of the Principal Financial Building, and we were the only people in there, which was really awkward. And then in Las Vegas, we went to the, what's that thing?
Stratosphere.
Stratosphere. We were up on the top. The two most expensive meals of our life, both times we're like, want to go to
McDonald's?
We got done eating these tiny little things they brought us. They're like, oh, this is your filet. I'm like, where's the rest of my meal, dude?
That'll be $200, please.
It's like, oh, now that we've had the appetizer,
Ready for a Big Mac?
let's go eat some food. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on National Caviar Day.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, the Arizona Highway Patrol stopped an 83-year-old man driving a golf cart with no headlights in the dark on the interstate.
Whoa!
They say he was not impaired, so he wasn't like drunk or anything. He was just 83.
He had places to go.
83 in Arizona and wanted to go somewhere. He took the interstate on a golf cart. That is so dangerous. We shouldn't laugh because he's lucky he didn't get smoked. Wouldn't that just be awful to run over a golf cart if you're driving the speed limit and all of a sudden you hit a golf cart? How fast could you go on a golf cart?
Well, to be fair, it's probably as fast as he would have gone in a car. He's 83.
He's like, it's no rush. I'll get there when I get there. So I wonder if he was at least on the shoulder of the interstate.
I'm sure he
Anyway,
was.
interesting story. Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs. By the way, I got to say thank you to several people who've submitted a bunch of great stories. Most of the stories for today are things submitted by other people.
Cool.
Because they've been kind of hanging here for a while, and I'm like, man, I just got to use these. So today I went through and said, going to kind of clean out that folder, and I'm going to read as many of them as I can. So this is one of them. Reno County, Kansas, the sheriff deputy there came upon a vehicle with a flat tire and ended up arresting the driver on marijuana charges. The driver, J.T. Lewis Rowe, from Colorado, told the deputy he had a flat and was waiting on assistance. He talked to the driver through the passenger side window, but he said, I could smell marijuana, and he asked if he could search the vehicle. And he said, well, I used to have some marijuana in here because, again, he's from Colorado. But he said, I don't have any more. It was seized by the Wichita police when I got stopped yesterday.
Oh, my
The
gosh.
deputy searched and found a gallon baggie, about 3 1/4 ounces of marijuana, and a glass pipe and some residue. So he had more than what the guy found the day before. He told the officer, no, that's not marijuana. My in-laws are trying to frame me. That's something else. He was arrested on suspicion of possession, suspicion and possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. So, yeah, that's not marijuana. My in-laws are trying to frame me.
Yeah, they're
They
trying to frame me.
Mowed the lawn and threw the clippings in there. I'm not sure
Whatever.
what they thought it was, but I've got a link to that story if you want to read all about it. It's in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, a little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Johnny Depp is in the news. He's accused of punching a film crew, a member of the film crew.
I was going to say a whole film crew.
He's punched them all. A member of the film crew in a new lawsuit. He's being accused of that. So I hope that all goes well.
I'm sure the guy did something. I mean, he wouldn't just walk up to somebody who was only holding a camera and just punch the guy
Excuse
for
me,
no
sir.
reason.
I don't like the way you look. Poof. Yeah, I have no idea. The new release date of the next Indiana Jones movie was just postponed to 2021. By the way, Harrison Ford will be 79 years old at that point.
Harrison Ford
How
is
believable is it going to
awesome.
be when Harrison Ford at age 79 is out doing all these things Indiana Jones is supposed to be doing? I don't know if that's going to be believable. At a certain
Why would it
point,
not be believable? Do people who explore retire?
I don't
Why
know.
would that not be believable? He's an
I don't know.
explorer.
Yeah, he's in much better shape than me already. So I can't really, it's like, watch John as he waddles through the woods. I'm not running because a boulder is chasing me. I'm running because I'm trying to get to the buffet before they close.
I loved those Indiana Jones
I did
movies.
too.
I didn't
The
like
last
the
one was
last
so
one. It
weird.
was so
Yeah.
bad.
Hopefully this next one will redeem it, and I guess we'll find out in 2021. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. Big thank you to some folks who submitted the stories that we have. Majority of them today submitted. Now this one.
Hold on, before we get started on this,
Yeah.
can we just discuss
What?
what is happening on our desk here? I mean, the few things, I have a tiny stack of stuff, and I can't even set it all on the desk because your stuff
I'll
is
slide this
creeping over.
Let me scoot that. Now you got some more room. But where am I going to put my arm now? I have. This is why I went
You
through.
are so messy.
I'm not trying to be. This is why I went through finally. I have people sending me things. Some of these
And
stories.
why is there like a knife
Oh,
on
that's
my...
our son's. He brought that in. let me get that back to him. There's a giant knife. It's a good thing we don't have many guests coming in. They're like, "You going to assault me in this interview?" No, I'm not. So back to this. I had all these stories that have been stacking up. So I've had people ask me, they're like, yeah, every once in a while you read a story that's like 2 weeks old. It's not because I'm trying to read things that are that far behind, but just keeping up with all the cool stuff that comes in. And I can't get it all in one day. So, and then today, we just wasted a minute now. So this is one last story.
Sorry, I really just wanted to point out that you're a pig.
Over here. Home buyers in Knoxville. This was sent to me. There was a guy by the name of Josh Whitney from Done Right Home Inspections, and he was there helping them make sure their new home was, everything was okay. And he found a photo of a GFC outlet taped to the inside of a little door. So when you walked by and looked, it looked like they had a new outlet inside this thing. But when you open it, there was an old outlet in there. But they had taped the photo of the new style. And he said the people that own the house said, we didn't do it. A contractor was hired to replace those, and apparently they didn't do the work they promised that they did. So, but he went around. He also found outlets that were connected to nothing. I've got a link to the whole story.
It's kind of like the house that we're in right now. There's random outlets.
There's switches.
That don't do anything.
We don't know what some switches are for. Pretty sure they turn our neighbors' lights on and off. I'm not sure, though. But there's a really funny video that this kind of went right along with this video. I've got this. Another person sent it to me. They said, I think Heidi would do this. And it's called the Outlet Prank. And it's a sticker that looks like an outlet.
I've seen those.
And they went to the airport. It's mean, but it's it's harmless.
It's
mean.
harmless.
So people will sit down. They're rolling along at the airport, and they see this outlet, and they'll stop to charge their phone. They set all their bags down. They get out their cord. They do this, and they go to poke it in, and it's just a sticker on the wall. So I've got a link to that video if you haven't seen it. It's also in the show notes. Now on to the rest of the show. A new study found that feeling younger than your age could be a sign that your brain ages more slowly. So do you feel younger or do you feel older?
I think I feel a lot older
than
my
your brain
age.
ages more quickly, apparently. My brain, 212. So that's kind of crazy. An East Tennessee man was charged with animal cruelty after he buried a live kitten. That's not nice.
Aww.
Why would you do that? Got a link to that story if you want to get more upset. That's in the show notes. Over 500 Australians took part in a naked photo shoot last week with American photographer Spencer Tunick. So I don't quite understand that whole concept. They're like, hey, we're going to break a record for the most naked people I can talk into standing here for a photo. And then people actually show up.
I wouldn't want to stand next to a bunch of naked strangers, like super close, so that everybody could get in one photo. Get closer.
Scrunch together now. No, look closer. Look closer. All of a sudden, this is a whole different event. Look closer. Should have brought the wide-angle lens. Sorry, that's my bad. And one last story here. USA Today survey found that a growing number of Americans are retiring young and moving to other countries where they can live more cheaply. They're going to foreign countries like Switzerland and Costa Rica. So those are the two. We just talked to a friend that said he's moving to some part of Mexico when he retires. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm 5 years from now. They've already been there and they've checked out the place. They're like, this is where we're moving. And he said it's like a village of Americans. All of the people who live there are American. And there's another village up the road. All the people there are Canadian. Huh. So it's like along the coast in Mexico. So I guess this is getting more and more common. I kind of like it right where I'm at. Don't think I'm going to do any of that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us. We have America's Money Answers man, Jordan Goodman, and we're going to talk today a little bit about credit cards. This is something that a lot of people struggle with because they get themselves in debt and then they make these little tiny payments, and it just kind of seems like it never goes away, doesn't it?
Well, that's right, John. If you make the minimum payments, which a lot of people do, it could take you 20 or 30 years to pay off your credit card debt, and it's been growing at a rapid rate. We have over $1 trillion in consumer credit card debt outstanding. It's been growing a lot because people are feeling more confident. There's more jobs. The housing market's doing better, so people go out and spend. And it's also easier to get credit cards. The credit card companies, the banks, are pouring them out, making it easy to get into trouble. So you start paying the minimums, and it's really going to add up the amount of interest you're paying, which is non-deductible, by the way.
Now, one of the things that I think is interesting, there are people, and I was one of them, who I paid off my credit cards, we got away from it, and then we didn't have credit cards for like 8 years. But then the struggle that I had is my credit score started going down because we didn't use our credit at all. Now, credit cards aren't bad as long as you don't use them and like carry a balance and get yourself in trouble. So now we pay it off every month, and we use it, but we pay it off. If people are kind of looking for the right card, one of the things that I know we've talked about in the past, those are usually not the cards that they send to you, because the ones they send to you are usually not the best cards, are they?
Those are the worst ones, that's right. Those are the ones with the shortest grace periods, the highest interest rates, the biggest annual fees. They've got to pay for all those mailings, right? So here's a place to go, John, to get the best credit card deal, betting on your needs, which is the website guidetocreditcard.com. And depending on what you need, for example, say you want rebates. You can get rebates as much as 5% cash back on whatever you spend. Say you want to take trips. You can pile up frequent flyer miles on a particular airline, or say you want to go hotel points, or you want to go to Disney World. I mean, there's just lots of different things that you may want. So what I say is take 2 or 3 cards that have the rewards that you want most and pile your spending up on those. Don't have 10 or 20 different cards, spread your spending out over all of them. By the time you get to a reward, it's expired or something, so you don't want to do that. So there's a website to get you the best deal anywhere, depending on your specific needs.
Again, that website, guidetocreditcard.com. I'm going to throw that in our show notes as well to make it really easy for people to find. Now, you've also written a book about this as well. That's one of the things that's really fun when I visit with you. You've written several books, but you've got one that's kind of covers this topic pretty well. What is the book that covers this?
It's called Master Your Debt. And there's a website for it, master-yourdebt.com, and that's exactly right. It covers all these things. And one area that might be helpful to people, if they're really in a lot of credit card debt, and they don't want to get a new credit card, and they don't want to hurt their credit score, what you should do is use a national, high-quality, non-profit credit counseling organization, because they have deals with the banks you can't get on your own. They've already got a deal with Citibank and Bank of America and Chase and Wells Fargo and so on to get interest rates typically in the 6 to 7% range, and you would consolidate all your different credit cards into one payment at the lower interest rate and get out of debt, whatever, in 2-3 years instead of the rest of your lifetime, basically. My favorite place, John, is called Cambridge Credit Counseling, and their website is cambridgecredit.org. Their phone number, 800-897-2200. And they've been helping people for over 30 years. So it's what's called a DMP, a debt management plan. You combine all the credit cards into one payment at a lower interest rate, and now you're paying off principal instead of interest for the rest of your life, and that can help a lot of folks.
And again, we're going to throw a link in our show notes to make it really easy to reach out to them as well. Jordan, it's always a pleasure to visit with you. If people have a question that they would like to send to you, they can reach out to you. I'll have you give the info on how they can do that as well.
MoneyAnswers.com is my website. I've got lots of websites and links and resources and videos and a YouTube channel and blogs and all kinds of things there. And I have a monthly newsletter they can get, the free monthly newsletter as well. So be glad to help, and MoneyAnswers.com is the place to go.
Again, Jordan Goodman, America's Money Answers Man. Jordan, thank you again for taking the time to chat.
Always glad to help, John. Thanks again.
Again, Jordan Goodman, his website, moneyanswers.com. And we're going to throw a link to all of the stuff we talked about in the show notes. You'll find that if you click the show notes link at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner, you should consider using radio. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio each week. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business, helping you hit your goals. We can help. We can also create a fun jingle too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. Radio jingles to help you get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
More than 10 people per year are killed by vending machines. Wow. How does that work? Like they're trying to rock the thing to get some chips out?
Tips over on them.
Hey, what are you doing? You're going to get this famous Amos cookies one way or another. They're hanging by a thread. I don't think that's a good plan. Put in another quarter and just, do it the right way. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Summers on Uranus last 21 years. And my son is upset because I said it that way. He says it's Uranus. I've heard it both ways. And the way I said it is much funnier. But summers on Uranus are 21 years long. Huh. Can you imagine have a 21-year-long summer? I think after that, you'd probably be ready for fall, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Because there are times I'm like, you know what? I just can't wait till it cools down. And then when it's cold, you're like, I just can't wait till it gets warm. I don't think I'm ever happy, really. So there you go. A couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day for this Wednesday. It's kind of a fun word to say today. It's uke. Y-E-U-K. Uke. Say that one once.
Uke.
Isn't that a fun word to say?
What is it?
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
It is an unpleasant feeling that makes you want to scratch. Or if you have an itch, that's a uke. So to cause to itch. Like if I told a story about bed bugs, or if I told a story about the head lice, or if I told a story about some itchy rash, and then all of a sudden you start to get that itch, that's a uke. Okay. I get those all the time. I don't know why that is. I watched a video of some little bugs scurrying around, and I started itching all over the place, and I was like, why am I itching? Because I have what's called a uke. It says, I got a nasty uke in a place I just can't quite reach. Uke. That is the word. I think it's a fun word to say. Y-E-U-K. Uke is today's grandiloquent word.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news for a Wednesday. Firefighters in Arizona are warning residents after a family found rattlesnakes in their pool noodles.
Whoa!
Family was getting ready to take a dip. They grabbed 2 pool noodles that were up against the wall.
That would be scary.
A big snake popped out of the end of one of them. Then they found a bunch of babies inside. They say when it gets really hot outside, the snakes are looking for somewhere to hide. And a snake wrangler showed up to help these people out. He said, I come across snakes in all kinds of things, like pool toys. Never, though, in a noodle. That was the first for him. He says they get dehydrated. They haven't had a meal. If there's a damp pool noodle in a dry desert, if I was a snake and dehydrated, I'd go to a pool noodle too, he said.
Yeah.
So they're saying if you have a bunch of snakes or rodents in your area, just, maybe check before you grab the pool noodles.
Can snakes... Like, if they would have just thrown that pool noodle in the water, would the snake can they swim?
Yeah, they swim across the top. I don't know if they all can, but, I've seen that
rattlesnakes,
happen before.
I wonder if they can.
I don't know if they do or not. I have to check and see. I've never seen one in the Olympics, but I think I've seen some snakes that can swim.
Because my reaction, if I was standing by a pool and I had picked up a noodle and a snake popped out, my reaction would be to toss it into the water.
And then you got a whole new batch of problems. All right. I've got a link to it in the show notes if you want to read all about it at johnandheidishow.com. Now, your moment of duh. San Juan County deputies were called to a very bizarre incident near Bloomfield in late May, where a woman told deputies a man she did not know was bleeding all over her porch.
Oh.
He still got the arrow in his arm, she said. The man...
An arrow?
...who was on the woman's porch turned out to be 38-year-old Eric Tillerson. Deputies and paramedics said he had an arrow lodged in his arm. Does that hurt? They asked, and I can't tell you what he said on the radio. Because we'll just say yes, affirmative, it hurt. The homeowner told him that This guy's there was a trail of blood going back to the scene of the crime. They talked to the man that owned that home. They said, hey, he's been coming through here over and over and over, making threats. And then he hopped the fence and shot at my dog. And that's when the homeowner pulled out his bow and arrow and shot the man right in the arm. They said, how much pain are you in? Once again, I can't tell you on the radio what he said. But we'll just say it was a lot of pain. Extreme pain. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. I've never heard of somebody defending their home with a bow and arrow. Have you?
No.
So that is a first for me, but maybe
I suppose
that happens
it's a
lot.
weapon.
This gentleman who was shot, by the way, has a long criminal history, including numerous charges of burglary and aggravated assault. So it kind of sounds like he kind of had this coming. So I've got a link to the story again in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. You ready for this, Heidi?
I am ready.
Okay, I can't even believe I'm reading this one. This is one that I almost didn't read, but I had it sent to me by 3 different people. So I'm like, okay, I better read it. Fake news or Florida? Florida man bites off his brother's, after he
joystick.
After he walked in on his brother and his cousin.
Ew.
On his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket. Fake news?
Ew. I'm going to say Florida because you said several people sent it.
But this was kind of the trick question, though. They sent it, but it was actually fake news that was spread on a parody account.
Oh.
So you kind of got it right because most people thought this really happened. If you saw that story, it came out end of last week. If you saw that story and you thought, oh, I cannot believe how crazy things are getting, that didn't really happen. It was sent out on a parody account called CNN Miami. CNN doesn't have local places like that. They're a national thing. So anyway, some guy set up this account and he just sends out crazy things. And that was sent to me not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 different people. Is that the right way to say it? 3 different people sent me that. And I was like, wow. I might be able to trick Heidi, which we did. Would you have believed it if I hadn't told you that I had a bunch of people send it?
No, I would have said
you would have thought it was fake news?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now I feel bad.
Because there's too much going on.
That is just a weird.
That's a lot of.
It's a bizarre story. It's today's Fake News or Florida. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All the details at radiosavings.com. Today's good news sounds like this. It's, oh, come on. My computer is going slow again. It says, veteran-run business is left destitute when his equipment is stolen, but people send $15,000 to replace it. How cool is that?
Oh, how awesome.
How terrible would it be to have your business basically in a shambles because of this? When Cody Nicholson discovered somebody had stolen several $1,000s worth of equipment from his landscaping business, he's a veteran, by the way, he feared the worst for he and his employees for their future. He's like, what is going to happen now? The former Marine had started the company called Our Troops Service, so he could hire fellow veterans who were struggling to adjust to civilian life. He and his employees normally work on fences and construction and lawn care in the Tulsa area, but their work came to a halt in May when somebody robbed them of their equipment. The crew tried to fulfill their lawn contracts by using push mowers, and they were mowing acres and acres worth of greenery with push mowers, but they were falling behind. Little did they know, there's a nonprofit out there called Soldier's Wish, and they heard about this predicament, and they already started rallying people to help with this. People came out of the woodwork wanting to help, they said. One of the charity's workers told Tulsa World, we were able to raise the money to replace everything within just weeks. Says here, just barely hanging in there, the charity surprised him and the workers with $15,000 worth of brand new shiny equipment.
That is awesome.
He said, you really saved us. I really thought our company was going to die. As a means of making it up to his employees and their lost income, he started a GoFundMe page, which already had raised over $7,000 to help them get all back on track. Because when they're making less money, they fall behind too. So it's a great story, and there's a video if you want to watch the video with all the details on it. What a cool thing. And I think that's awesome. It's sad that somebody robbed these guys, but it's really cool that people stepped up and helped them out. So I love stories like that.
I do too.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.